in my ass.
I just banged your wife?
Name of this garbage show again that I'm on.
Total non-stop impact.
My name's John, capital letter E, period, Bravo, and you're listening to the Total Non-Stop Impact Podcast.
This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday night impacting. His mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha skin manimal, Rohit Raju, and you are watching Total Non-Stop Impact.
This is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Non-Stop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Non-Stop Impact.
We are the Rascals. And you are listening to Total
Non-Stop
Impact Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is Total Non-Stop Impact. Don't you dare miss a listen. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
What's up, Impact Wrestling? Let's make some noise!
Sitting here, you guys got a 15-minute intro of putting yourselves over while I'm sitting here and watching J-Bone and Kalon and your 50. I never saw a 15-minute intro of three guys putting themselves over.
This is the good stuff.
Welcome back, everybody. Total Non-Stop Impact Talk for Impact fans, featured right here on the TNI Network. This is Trevor, my co-host J-Bone. This is Halloween night, and this is the NWA-TNA number 47 throwback. J-Bone, boo, boo. It is Halloween, trick or treat. Shark Boy in the house, suicide in the house. What's happening, J-Bone?
Oh, shell, yeah.
I got suicide, steampunk suicide. Look at this, steampunk suicide going on here. Look at that. Huh? Look at these new guys.
That is different. That is different.
It's cool, huh? Steampunk suicide. I can't see a goddamn thing, J-Bone. I can't see anything. That's the problem going on here. My face is crushed. My face is smushed. We're doing a late night Saturday night throwback, J-Bone. Listen, I want to tell you, I appreciate you, Jay Bronsky Hefferino, for making this work. I had AAW on Thursday. We couldn't do Throwback Thursday, so we adjusted it. Things going on. We're home now. It's Saturday night. Nobody's trick-or-treating, J-Mo. Did you give out any candy today, J-Mo? Do you have one of those shoots that everybody's doing today?
Nope. I did some yard work because we've got about half of our leaves on the ground, so I fired up the old mower and I mowed some leaves. It was exhausting, but hey, we got through it. I got through about 95% of them, and I figure I'll wait another week, do one more mow on a semi-decent day. Dude, I heard it's gonna be, I know this ain't the Weather Channel, but Trent, I hear we're supposed to get 60s up here within the next week.
Wait a minute. Let me just in these glasses. You said 60 degrees next week?
Yeah, it's going to be like borderline summer again.
Jesus, really? See, this is the weird thing about living in the Midwest, guys. It's like one or the other. You can't get a break. You can't plan anything, J-Bone. You can't plan for shit. You can't plan a goddamn thing. But
yeah, I always say it's the southeastern Wisconsin, Milwaukee area is just like Florida, only different.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Hey,
right. So old Shark Boy's gonna crack a cold one here.
There you go. Happy Halloween to everybody. I want to put that out there. Everybody in the not too many people in the chat today, J-Bone. It's a small crowd. We're doing a Saturday night throwback. Really odd for us to do a Saturday night throwback.
Trent, I got a problem.
What do you got? What's your problem there, J-Bone?
How I can't drink this with my. All right, I'm
just what's the guy gonna do? Hey, I wish I had the same problem. I got a cigar. I'm dying to smoke, but I can't really smoke the cigar, unfortunately. I'm in a precarious position. Let's take these off. Happy Halloween, everybody. We're glad you enjoyed that. So let me take off Steampunk Suicide. First, the goggles come off. I just got those yesterday, J-Bone.
Nice.
Let's the nurse took me out for some belated birthday stuff, you know.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's fun. That's great that you finally got some one-on-one time with her. I know she's busy. You're busy. That's awesome,
yeah.
man.
So we're here. It's messing up the hair. I did the hair before the thing, J-Bone. I messed up the hair now.
Oh,
look at the hair was, it is what it is. All right, what's going on, everybody? Happy Halloween.
We are set.
NWA-TNA number 47. J-Bone, we doing this 47 weeks. So we're almost doing it a year, huh?
Crazy.
Almost
Mir Nisa says, rest in peace, Sean Connery. Very sad. But hey, he lived a long life and gave
90 years old. 90
ton
years
of
old.
Entertainment. I would
yeah.
say, he is my, I shouldn't say this on the day that he passed away, but he is my number 2 James Bond.
Number 2. Are you a Roger Moore guy?
No.
Are you a Pierce Brosnan guy?
No, I am a Timothy Dalton guy.
Timothy Dalton guy. Wow. Jabe, I'm going to tell you something. It might blow your mind here.
It's rare.
Very rare.
Yeah.
I've never seen a single Bond movie. You know that? Not a single one.
You got to start at the beginning and just kind of slowly work your way through it. I did a marathon recently. I watched like 3 or 4 of the first Bond movies in a row. And they're a little corny, but it's a lot of fun.
But for the time, they were considered revolutionary. That was the thing, right? The technology, they were mind-boggling at the time.
Yeah.
Interesting, man.
How they were presented and world espionage and all that kind of stuff.
That's true. That's very true, man. But cool. Wait, J-Bone, so here we're going to talk NWA-TNA. We're gonna recap the show. I can't believe it's been almost a year. We did start this. This was our winter project last year. Remember that? This was our post-Thanksgiving. We said this is going to be our December project last year to start this off.
Yeah, it took us a while to get it off the ground, but we finally did it when we started putting original content on this channel again. So we're dating that too.
We are getting there, guys. It's been a very interesting year for us for doing the throwback. Almost there. We still got about 5 weeks to go till throwback is a year old. So let me take the Happy Halloween down here. There it is. Okay, so let's jump into anything you want to talk. It's not too big of a news. If there's one piece of news, if you don't have it on, you want to just mention. We'll mention it again on Tuesday. But I think you might have the same thing I do. If you do have news, if not, then I'll just mention it.
Well, I ran some news last night over on the old Smash This podcast.
Oh, by the way, you've been smashing podcast a lot lately, Jab. You've been a lunatic this week with your podcast, huh? A lot of smash going on.
Yeah, well, I took practically a week off last week when I was doing a lot of like Impact related content around Bound for Glory, and I was doing more content on here than my own. So I'm trying to make up for it a little. And I am officially affiliated now on Twitch.
Hey, congratulations, J-Bone, for an affiliation on Twitch. Good for you, man.
You can do the subs. You can share the bit. I got my first sub.
Did you really? Good for you guys. Go to J-Bone Smash This podcast. Give him a sub on our channel here too at TNI, and then give J-Bone a sub ski over there. Look at that, Jay. Listen, if you have any luck like we got here, Truck and Slowpoke are gonna be poking their heads into Smash and just fucking making it rain on subs, man.
Well, hopefully they'll show up when I start doing a little bit of unique Impact Wrestling content on there, because coming up with just advertised from Impact Wrestling is Turning Point. In a couple weeks, yeah. November 14th, Saturday, officially on the old Impact Plus app. You can watch that live. It's only $7 a month, folks. And if you're following these along with us and watching at least a few of these a month, plus your Twitch live events that have recently returned, you're getting your money's worth. Absolutely.
No doubt.
A lot of great stuff. I love it. And so yeah, that's coming. Also great news that Falaba just recently signed again.
Oh, he did. He renewed.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That came out on PW. Who was it? Mike Johnson? I believe Mike Johnson broke that news.
Okay, cool. Good. Hey, listen, the stuff he's been doing with the Bravo stuff. Oh my God. Is there any reason not to sign Falaba at this point? I mean, the guy's comedy gold, man. Comedy gold, Falaba.
He's a lot of fun. He really is.
I hope Terrence is saying, I hope he stays. I do too, man. I want him to be there.
He's growing a lot, you know, and you know what? The discussion came up that he's never had a title.
I really was convinced he was going to get that tag belt with KM at the time. It was like prime to do the tag belts at the time.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it, even if it was a transitional thing. Again, can we get that mid-card title, Impact? Please. We had a TV belt at one time, never booked correctly. Now is the time to do it again, I think.
Yeah, and he'd be a great one to do it with, you know. It's
perfect. Yeah.
I want to see. I mean, he does so much comedic stuff. I've been saying this for a while, but I'm gonna say it again. I haven't said it for a while either. I want to see Ba get crazy serious and just become like a, you know, evil Samoan or whatever.
Oh, he's Filipino, J-Bo. Let's get that straight.
I apologize. I thought he was Samoan.
Well, he's been posting pictures of him and Yokozuna, like how they look exactly alike in a lot of pictures. You see it on Twitter. With Yoko was Samoan, but hilarious to see how like Follow was basically Yoko for Halloween for like 7 years in a row, basically. But
that's funny. But yeah, if he went heel and did like a Yokozuna type, you know, a run, that'd be great for a mid-card title. It really would.
He's a perfect TV champion to me because he is on TV every week. That's the idea of a TV champion. Some guy was there every week and fighting every week, you know, 10-minute time limits. Old school. Let's go back to a TV title. I think I still say an Access title sounds awesome.
I was just gonna see. Yeah, I don't remember who was it. You that brought that up. Someone from our crew brought that up. Access TV title.
Yeah, but what sucks is like the other down south already renamed theirs after their networks, and now it's gonna look like we're ripping them off. You know, so we got to go for something else. But let's jump in and we'll talk. So Turning Point. Let me just put it this way: as some people know, I was a certain place earlier this week. I was somewhere, not in Chicago. Let me just say, Turning Point, I'm putting the thumbs up, giving you the okay. I'll let you know about how. I'll just say, watch Turning Point. And what I'm trying to get at with that is if you don't have Impact Plus, pay the $8. It's totally worth it. Totally.
So there's your spoiler. It's good. Go watch it. Get your app.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the safe kind of spoiler. Like, hey, that's straight from Trent's, straight from the horse's mouth. The man.
Call me a horse? What? Did you call me a horse, J-Bo?
Thoroughbred.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it. One more piece of news I want to mention real quick, and I definitely want to mention again on Tuesday. Impact. If you are a collector of collectibles, Impact Collectibles, kind of like what they used to do back in the day with the auction site, which is where Bill basically amassed a lot of his rare shit. They have restarted, Jay, collectibles eBay. That's right. Let me just share my screen. I want to just share this real quick. And I could share this with you guys just so you could see they have restarted. Here we go. Let's show everybody what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking, this is really neat. Take a look at this. It's Impact Collectibles on eBay. You have Ace Austin's knee pad, which is signed. The cookie sheet.
I was looking at this yesterday. There's some really interesting stuff on there.
There is. Heath for Impact t-shirt signed. Rich Swan t-shirt signed. Look at this one. Bravo's groom stuff. Somehow he signed it before he died. It's on there.
Is that in bad taste that they're selling his stuff like right after he's
dead? Welcome.
I guess. I mean,
this is a neat one. If you're you got the piece of table from Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards. That's a pretty cool one.
Some people like those kind of things. Yeah, like you get a piece of the like the old Motley Crue song, "Piece of the Action."
Yeah, and so they got the certificate of authenticity. Eric Young's Bound for Glory t-shirt, Eddie Edwards. I saw this happening where I was earlier this week. I saw them doing this. I can attest to you, these are authentic. Impact t-shirt signed by the whole roster. That's pretty cool.
Oh man, that is slick.
And you got the chair from the $100 chair here. Look at this. And signed by Gallows and Fulton. So that's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool stuff. If you're a collector, that's rare shit to have. That's pretty nice and rare shit to have. So I would encourage you to get some of that stuff.
That cookie sheet's cool, man.
The cookie sheet's the one that's got a ton of bids on it. That one's flying. The cookie sheet is up for like, I think it started at like $10 or something, and it's up to like $61.
Yesterday when I saw it was at 30, and I was like, "Oh, that's not bad."
The cookie sheet's flying more than anything at this. I'm surprised the table piece isn't higher, but it might be.
That was Tommy Dreamer and
the cookie sheets, yeah, Dreamer and Eric Young, and then the table is Eddie Edwards and Ace Austin, but and then Ace's knee pad's going pretty good too. So yeah, when you say people, J-Bone, what do you mean Bill Gardner? I'm surprised Bill is not the leading vote or leading bid on all these.
Yeah, right.
But all right, well, cool, guys, check that out. More to come. I'm glad they're doing this again because they used to have some really rare shit, really fun stuff back in the day. So I really hope that they start digging the vault again. Now the vault, from what I understand, there is a vault still in existence, J-Bone. The Impact Wrestling vault with a lot of cool collectibles still exists. So it's a matter of somebody going through said vault is what the thing is. So, but let's kick it off. You ready? Episode 47, NWA-TNA. What do you think? Should we jump in, J-Bone?
Let's do that.
We got a recap of 46 to kick it off, guys. Actually, no, wait a minute. Wait, what am I doing? J-Bone. What am I doing? How can I forget what I do every J-Bone? NWA-TNA number 47 took place on May 28, 2003. Now, I was on Dave's couch eating Chinese food, watching this, pitching my $5 in, his $5, $9.99. We ordered the pay-per-view. Now, what were you doing on May 28th, 2003? J-Bone. Whose heart were you breaking? Who was breaking your heart? Where were you? What gutter were you drunken? What the hell was happening? Who were you running over? J-Bone, what was happening to you?
I had a little thing, that thing on Facebook that pops up and it takes you down memory lane and whatever.
Yes, I do like that, actually. That's a good feature.
And it's nice, yeah. Today was a little sad. It was like all these pictures of me sitting outside handing out candy, and this is the first year in I don't know how many years I was not sitting outside in my driveway doing that. So that was a little sad. But
May 28th, though.
Someone shared and tagged me in a picture almost 10 years ago on Facebook within the last week or so. So we'll just time it to that. Because it was really fuzzy back then. I wasn't sure where I was. There was a rough, tumultuous few years there. And then I remembered I was still working at the newspaper back then. And it was a local newspaper. Mm-hmm. And I was doing their employment section. And I was usually about a 30 to 40 some page section that it was called pagination. They get to give it the technical term, is putting the ads on the pages, and then you print them out and then they send them off to the press and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what I did. I did that throughout the week, and then my Thursday into Friday was about a 15 to 18 hour day.
Holy shit. So J-Bone sounds pretty boring, I'm gonna say. I was watching at TNA. You are paginating at the newspaper.
Yeah, but I still I hated my boss. I loved my crew. I'll say that. Because it was pretty casual. I would come into work like this with my heavy metal shirt on. I'd come in with
Shark Boy mask on and everything.
No, not the Shark Boy. That would scare some people. The office people come up to me, be able to talk to me about Ada and be like, "Oh dear God, what is he smoking today?" Yeah, come to think of it, yeah, I was smoking back then.
That's enough. Don't incriminate yourself anymore, J-Bone. That's enough.
Cigarettes.
Oh, okay, let's leave it at that. That's enough. You shouldn't be doing that. Kids, do not smoke your cigarettes. Don't be like J-Bone here. Smoke cigarettes, all right?
Yeah, okay. You go bald and your eyes go funny.
All right, funny enough. All right, listen. Let's get into it, J-Bone. May 28th, 2003. This is 17 years ago. My God. We kick off with Disco, Glenn Gilberti in the back, waiting in the parking lot, and Julio and Alexis Lurie arrive, and Disco tells him he's going to kick Raven's ass tonight, and to let him know he's going to kick his ass. And they don't really say anything. They just kind of go, huh? Oh, okay. Walk off. Nothing said. They're kind of becoming a little bit, I don't want to say useless is a rough word, but they're kind of not doing anything at this point, these two. They're just taking a beating and not really doing much. So, not much going on there.
Last week, he almost dumped, bleach down her throat.
Oh, yeah. For her sin.
I'm going to cleanse you. You're going to what?
hot opener, though, Jay. Listen, CM Punk and Jason Cross. Everybody knows how much I love Jason Cross. If Mark was in this chat, he'd be lighting me up on this one. But B-Dog in the house. What up, man? What's going on, everybody? Zach, everybody in the house. Mirror, everybody. Buckshot. But anyway, listen. So we open up hot opener. CM Punk and Jason Cross. Pretty energetic against AJ Styles and D'Lo Brown, this is a team that's been really, really cooking. And again, Jay, I'm shocked that these guys never got the tag belts. They were on fire, man. AJ and D'Lo, and it's never talked about. Their tag team was never ever mentioned. No highlights, never talked about. Hell of a team though.
They had some great chemistry, but it was never meant to be because of the storyline that has been slowly unfolding about this tag team, and why they got put in this tag team is and usually it's one of the more unique tag team stories that I've ever heard. Sometimes you hear about tag teams that put together and there's different opinions on, they put these two guys together. Well, that's interesting. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Almost never does it come to the light of day where you see it on TV where they actually talk about their team being put together and they don't want it to work. That's very rare. It's like, why are we in this team? Oh, it's because this is going on over here. It's like, oh, that's it sounds a little shooty, but it's a great storyline. And I love this match, man. It's just,
match.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
As good as this match was, are you sold yet on Jason Cross? And he worked pretty well with CM Punk here.
He did work well. But I wrote my notes today, J-Bone? I wrote Jason Cross is full of unnecessary moves. That's what I wrote.
Oh, my God.
The guy will never be sold on me. And I apologize. It's too much for too little impact. It's like 8 moves to get one hit. You got to combine that to make it mean a lot more. He doesn't do that. That's my problem with Jason Cross.
I mean, he took out D'Lo Brown in the first couple seconds of this match. That's pretty impressive.
Okay, that move he took him out with. Do you remember that move? Now he did like a running corkscrew plancha twisting 780 flip, only to end up just hitting D'Lo at the end. But it was like all this shit to just knock him at the end. It's like, the fuck was all that? The setup took longer than the move. That was my issue with Jason Cross. And then Jason Cross, if you're watching, I apologize. Actually, I don't apologize. I just can't do it. I cannot get into Jason Cross's his moveset. But I did write down. It was an amazing match. This was they all worked well together. But man, that finish, Jay, the finish, man, how impactful was that damn finish?
Yeah, and the combos they were both teams were doing to each other were great. The one point is right at the start of the match, and this cracked me up a little bit. This must have been at a point where CM Punk was like really excited to be on TV, and they started to use him a little more. He was outside of the ring working AJ Styles over. He picks him up, turns around, look at the crowd, and he goes, TNA! I clapped for that. I was like, oh my God, he must be happy to be there or something.
He must be. Afterwards, so AJ and D'Lo win. Afterwards, D'Lo gets on the mic and says the only way to get respect in this place is to become heavyweight champion. I noticed he called Cross and Punk jobbers, which is interesting, seeing as how Punk ends up in the world, but he calls him a jobber. I never liked CM Punk. I go back to the Chicago days with him. He was a dick to people on the independent scene. He was a dick to me at the gym. We used to work out at the same gym. He was a dick at the gym. I was like, whatever, man, this guy's a dick. So I just never got to CM Punk. I always thought he was a prick. And but anyway, So yeah, D'Lo calling him a jobber may pop me maybe a little bit, but that's about it. But again, I won't take a fact away from him. He ain't a jobber. He became a top guy. So ironic, right, Jay?
Yeah, I love CM Punk. I mean, I don't care what he has or hasn't accomplished in the world of sports entertainment, wrestling, MMA, whatever. I've always been a fan, and it's exciting for me to see like where he like really started to get hot and started to catch the eyes of the fan between this, his early MLW stuff, Ring of Honor, this kind of footage back when he was in the top of his game and really coming into his own. It's exciting for me to watch. I've never seen this stuff before. So
nice. Yeah. Mark's in the house. Mark, you just missed me dogging Jason Crossing, and just so you know, Mark's here. Mark always is shocked how much I dog Jason Cross. So I'm gonna I dogged him. You just missed it. Paul Nelson, your nephew's birthday's on Tuesday. J-Mo, he's letting us know right now, so you better shout him out in the news on Tuesday.
Nice.
So we're gonna get you. Rex, what's up, brother? David's here. B Dog, Buckshot. You guys are all here, man. Good crowd tonight. Thank you guys for coming in late. It's a random Saturday night throwback. We didn't get one in earlier in the week. I had AAW and stuff. Just for if you're just joining us. We needed to get it in. We were off last week because of Bound for Glory. We needed to get this one in. So can't go too long without throwbacks.
Well, and we changed our hours tonight, so we get an extra hour of Halloween tonight. So it's
that's right.
Halloween.
Are we flipping back? No, we flip back at 2:00. When do we actually? You can change back now, I guess, right? If you wanted to.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna say it's 11:00 Central right now.
There you go.
All right, we go to Tenay and West, and it is purple on purple with Don West. That's what Dave told me to start mentioning. He's like, you gotta start calling out Don West fashion, purple on purple, J-Mo. You gotta start dressing like Don West. we get a hype 2 Asylum Alliance matches. Siaki and Sandman taking on a surprise team. Justin Incredible and Jerry Lynn versus Harris and Storm, but Storm is not going to be there due to a personal family issue, and Harris will have a new partner. We have a hard 10 match. Raven will be taking on Disco Inferno, who's the #1 contender. And then we get a recap of Jeff Jarrett in New Zealand and Australia doing the WWA tours. Now, this is interesting. Did you catch something on this, Jay? Clips of Jarrett wrestling Sting in Australia.
Yes.
Right. How interesting is that now, right?
That tells me that eventually is going to come to see the light of day in TNA. That's got to be a little sneak peek, because I think from what I heard, it was a lot of the similar wrestlers, at least the Legends end of it was who was getting booked in Australia for stuff like that. So it was a similar roster from what I heard.
The Andrew McManus WWA is a very short-lived but a very interesting promotion. They had a lot of run at the time, so it was an interesting promotion. But Sting does appear. Everybody knows the history. He does appear in 2003 at some point in the year we're in right now. He appears first. We know that. And it was like a short-term deal, like a story arc. It's a huge deal. His first appearance in WCW. But then he goes away until he comes back and they do the main long Sting run that ends up happening. So I personally think this was a tease. By showing Sting in the clip was the tease to set that up. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Something to keep in mind.
He's been in the news again lately.
Stinger has?
Yeah.
What's he doing? What's going on with him?
Well, let's see. I want to phrase this properly. I don't want to upset the anchor. The company up north has taken down all of Sting's merch from their site. Pulled everything. Didn't just put it on clearance. Pulled everything.
Wait, they pulled Sting's merchandise. Interesting.
Yeah. There's no longer Legends contract.
That's usually what that means. The Legends deal is done.
Yeah.
The fact that they didn't even clearance it's very interesting to me. Now, listen, that's very interesting. That Sting's merchandise been pulled up there. We'll talk more about this. Maybe Tuesday. We'll start the speculations of
there's a rumor that he might show up someplace soon.
Oh, you're thinking the other over there
Yeah,
down south.
Yeah.
I mean, Sting going back to TNT, I guess, is a big deal. But to me, I would say that's just a not that we play sound bites on this show, J-Bo, but I'm gonna say that for my own Impact Wrestling loving sake.
Oh, no, 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 no.
I had to. I had to say it, Jab. Most likely, he's probably going. If they're pulling his merch, he's probably going there. So, B-Dog, thank you very much for popping in. Go back to hanging out with the kids. It's late. Why are your kids still awake? It's fucking late. But thank you for the gifts always. B-Dog is the man. What a legend he is too. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Happy Halloween to you. All right, let's keep going here, J-Bone. We got more to talk about. Where the hell did my results go? Son of a bitch.
We're talking about that tag match coming in here.
That's right. Well, first off, we got
Jeff Jarrett comes out to the ring first.
Jarrett comes out, and this is a heel turn now. Officially, Jarrett is mocking the crowd. Officially, he's turning heel at this point now. He's saying, he's like, you idiots think
weird.
Raven. Very weird, very sudden too. Like he's like over his shit a week ago, and he's just turning heel because he's saying like, you idiots pissed off that Raven got ripped off. Well, life sucks, then you die. He said, so he goes right for him.
Well, and it's so weird because the promo, literally seconds before he comes out to the ring here, it's very pro NWA.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm the champ. I'm the tour. I'm representing the company overseas, worldwide. Big deal. Blah, 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 blah. Very, very positive. You know, a very positive thing for the company with representing his company, the championship going everywhere. The company is on fire at this point.
On one hand, he's all pro company guy, and on this promo, he's complete heel. Like it's flip flopping totally. It's very strange.
Yeah, and the way the crowd responds to Raven here, they're actually starting to come around with Raven. It was ever since. Because people thought that Raven was going to win the title, and they were getting behind him. Slowly, very slowly. So watching the crowd reaction here is very interesting. It's about half, about 50-50 Raven. Like you can hear the chants for Raven. You also hear the Triple J chants, which is absolutely hilarious, referencing Triple H. And I always thought of Jeff Jarrett in this company when I started watching way back in 2005 as the Triple H of this company. Like he always had the championship just like Triple H did back then.
Yeah, but Raven also makes a reference. So Raven comes out. He says, Jarrett says like you must be in a corner somewhere shooting up. So the real heat was there. We knew that a little bit.
Harsh.
But wait, we got a last minute addition. I think Bill is popping in here. Let's see if he's able to come in here. Let me set this up. Bill is here. Oh, wait a minute. Bill is here. Hey. We just started. We just kind of got to the meat of the second segment here. If you watched the show,
I did. I watched it. I watched it yesterday because we talked about maybe doing it yesterday. So I did check it out there. So
perfect.
We get that coordinated.
Just got to the Jarrett and Raven segment, right? The second segment on the show. That's
okay. All right.
So what I was saying about it was, he throws the whole drug reference at Raven again during this, which is, we knew there was a little bit of real tension with these guys. And Raven says Jeff Jarrett's a pussy. And then people used to dog his best friend, Diamond Dallas Page, but he actually worked hard and became the best by, and he's like, Raven, I became the best by becoming the worst, which I thought was an interesting line. But he says Jeff Jarrett's politics rival those of Stephanie and Shane McMahon, which that's where the Triple J's trend started, J-Bum. They started chanting Triple J at him right there.
Yeah.
And
then the crowd, long time in the making, like this turn we're seeing develop.
Well, we were saying, Bill, before you came out, Jarrett's heel turn's kind of random here, though. Like he's
random, but they knew the crowd. He had lost that crowd. And Raven was pretty much over with that crowd. Like it was 50-50-ish, but if you can't have 100% babyface Jarrett like you started out with, it's not a good situation. It was like a up north Roman Reigns situation of a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's like you don't really know. It's like half in, half out.
Yeah, your top baby face and half the crowd's against them.
Yeah, so it's like what? Why are you bothering pushing this guy and beating him over the head? Right. Interesting. That's pretty much where he was at, and I think people were sick of it. Plus, I think everybody was still very upset, Jay, that Raven didn't win the title. I think they still hadn't let that one go. It was not accepted just yet at this point.
I'm still in therapy already.
Raven busts out a Black Sabbath quote here. Jay, you probably caught this. The world is full of kings and queens who blind your eyes and steal your dreams. It's heaven and hell. A Dio Sabbath reference.
Yeah, the heaven and hell caught me. I was like, oh, that must be Sabbath. Ooh.
He challenges Jarrett to a Clockwork Orange House of Fun match. Jarrett says Raven's a disgrace, drug addict. Felt kind of real at this point.
He also, I won't play because we don't play the bites on here. Although I'm very tempted to, because he basically pulls the Tommy Dreamer bite right out of the hat, and his response to Raven is, I sadly understood about half of that.
Sadly understood about half of that.
We'll play it, Jay. Why not? That's funny.
It's hilarious. Well, because you know how Raven gets when he starts getting poetic, and then he invites Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff's just smiling at him. It's like,
well, Jarrett says, "Look, I'll agree to the match if you need that match to believe that I'm better than you." And he says he's going to protect his ass, so he's in one piece for their match. It's kind of a weird setup here, Bill. Like Jarrett said, well, I'll protect you to make sure you're okay for our match. Like, well, fuck, I don't give a fuck if you're okay for our match. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a weird stipulation. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
I think you guys are probably not yet, but this episode has a lot of this where it's like, I'm not really sure where they're going with this. Well, what was the point? It almost kind of defeats itself, and this is definitely one of those instances.
Yeah, kind of wanting to see how it plays out, though. It's one of those things. Let me see. Give me till next week if you're setting it up.
Yeah, we definitely need to wait. Yeah, you're not going to get an answer in this episode. But I think this is maybe a couple week arc. See if this makes more sense.
It has to be. Someone then hands Jeff Jarrett an envelope, and he's kind of shocked. He runs up to Tenay and he goes, "What's this about a suspension? Who's getting suspended? Why is this happening?" And Tenay's like, "Suspension? I don't know. This goes in the back." So we kick it to the back. This goes in the back, and he talks about he got Raven suspended tonight. So Raven is suspended. Go ahead, Jay.
No, see, and this is the confusing part.
Yeah.
He says, I got Raven suspended. He screwed up his lines.
He said,
Raven is not suspended.
Yes, because Jarrett's suspended.
Later in the episode, they say Jarrett is suspended. And I'm like, all right. So, and I replayed this section again. I was like, yeah, Disco screwed up his lines.
Okay, because I was so confused because later on when they allude to Jarrett being suspended, I'm like, wait, are they both suspended? Well, who the fuck suspended?
Yeah, it's a little confusing. Actually, very confusing.
I was so confused because I was like, because they allude to Jarrett being suspended. I go, wait, so now they're both suspended? Why are they both suspended? It was such a fucking weird thing. Okay, so Disco botched the line.
Yeah.
And that's interesting.
Jarrett's suspended and he's supposed to leave. And the goofy part about the whole show with him is he never leaves. It's like, sorry, that's not how you do that storyline. You usually get the typical is you get security to escort his ass out of the building, and that never happens. No, he just went back to his locker room and he stayed there. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, weird. Nothing actually happened. But Siaki's there mirroring Disco, and he's going to kick his ass. So he says he's going to kick Raven's ass so bad he's wish he was detoxing. He dogs everybody for losing the previous week. Triple X, Siaki. He tells Siaki if you can't if he can't win your match, then you can't lead. You can't lead Triple. You want to be a leader, you got to win your match. I put Sanders over, but then he shits on David Young. He says, David's like, what about me? I won my match. He goes, I don't care about you. And then he asks somebody to go get Chris Harris. He wants to talk to him. We're still teasing the Chris Harris thing here. Storm's not there.
Send the Harris boys to get Harris. That's what you
Harris
do.
to Harris. Very interesting where they're going with Chris Harris here. We get a Asylum, oh man, I'm botching the name. The Asylum Alliance match. These two
tough night for the Asylum Alliance.
Oh, the two simultaneous tournaments are just.
Yeah, if you want to talk about the bites, I think that new bite of Kyle's is the Asylum Alliance tournament.
Oh, God. I think he made it so you can even talk over this one, but we'll wait on this until it really warrants it. But
the wreck one.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, which? Oh, yeah, that one. Okay.
So here, actually, yeah, I'm gonna play it on this one. So, actually, here he made it so you can do this, right? So check this out. I can play it, and I can talk about it while it's happening. And you have Sandman and Siaki teaming up here against BG James and Konnan. Random parents, weird backstory. The last time BG James was there, he's in Sports Entertainment Extreme, which Tenay mentions to us. This guy, I can't concentrate with this thing. I can't concentrate.
See, was it not perfectly fitting though?
It was. So I appreciate that. Oh God, that's an amazing soundbite. I appreciate that Tenay does not treat us like morons here and mentions and reminds us that last time we saw BG, he was in Sports Entertainment Extreme. Why he's not there, we don't know. And then Konnan being with him. Where was the Konnan connection? Konnan was dogging Jerry Lynn last time we saw him. Now Conan's part of the roster team of BG James, coming out like regular. I don't know where any of this backstory is at all.
It feels like you almost missed
a
month of episodes.
Oh, a month maybe. I'll go with a month.
Like for all these storylines that aren't there, but I know that was the whole concept. Is like it's just random, but there's no backstory to why it's this random. It was way off this one.
So weird because you're right. I feel like we missed a couple weeks, but we didn't miss a couple weeks.
We did.
But no, he's in there. Tenay, again, I give credit to Tenay to try to make sense of this. He tried. Sandman's not tagging it with Siaki. He eventually turns on him. Singapore canes him. BG and Konnan win. BG James doing the whole doggy style, like thrust in the guy's ass while he's got him set up for the moves. It's fucking weird looking back at it. Like, what the like? It is fucking weird.
We like to talk about the crowd and pop or not. BG James, no pop coming back.
Nobody cared. Unfortunately, nobody cared. It's like he had been gone for what, Jay, at this point? I want to say 4 months.
He was around about the time I started doing these ones with you guys. So that was like episode 30.
I think you jumped in like late 20s, 30.
Yeah, late 20s. Yeah, it was close to then. So that's about how long he's been gone.
He's been gone. Fucking
yeah. He was on those first couple shows and then he vanished.
4 months.
He comes to the ring, introduces Konnan, which is like Konnan. Konnan was with R-Truth. It's like, okay, so that starts this whole little thing that the three of those guys are together. But
3 Live Crew being hinted at in this episode for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I loved me some 3 Live Crew back in the day.
Yeah.
I just went bonkers for that. That was a lot of fun. And the goofy thing is they get in the ring. The ref comes up to them, you know how he checks people before the match, checks the boots and the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch this back. It happens, so if you blink, you miss it. They get on their knees and they face the corner and they go like
criminals.
This, like they're getting arrested. And the ref's like, "What are you doing? Get up!" And they're like, "Oh, sorry." It's like, did this? Then you gotta wonder, like. Okay, did this happen live before the show? Did they get pulled over and did something happen on the road between these two? Like, were they traveling together and something happened and so they were just reenacting it for shits and giggles live on the pay-per-view?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird. They're setting it up, but again, it just feels like we missed a couple weeks. Like they're already in sync with this like getting arrested thing, and like, what do we miss here? When did these two cross paths to team up? You know, very strange. but they do win.
It works.
It works. It does eventually work really well. 3 Live Crew ends up becoming a very popular faction, enough that they got their own DVD in the old TNA days.
They did.
Oh man, see, this is back when Konnan was really like on his game. He was still very healthy. He was doing decent moves. He was flopping all over the place.
Before the hip, I mean, his hip went bad, and that was it.
Yeah,
you know, he once his hip went, he was done. We go back to New Jack with Goldylocks, and he's throwing one of those water cooler things, you know, like the Culligan thing, off the balcony through a table. Or not through a table. Yeah, through a table.
Yeah, like off a balcony down below to the lower level. It destroys a table.
Yeah, and Goldilocks said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, this represents Slash, and all that water represents all of his blood splattered everywhere. God damn it, you know." He's I was like, "Shit," threatened Slash, and then out of nowhere, Shark Boy appears, and he's like, Shell, yeah, Shark. We opened the show really interestingly tonight, Bill. You might want to rewind that tonight, but it involved that.
Oh,
and it involved another prop too. We had props. We had stuff going on here. This show.
Well, I'm a fan of props.
Yes.
I had to wear this because Manny Bones wanted to be me for Halloween. So.
Oh yeah, it is Halloween. So
yeah, we opened up with very Halloween. I changed
into my Loca inspired Halloween colors.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I wore the only monstery I have, which is the Gargoyle TNA shirt.
Oh, there you go. That's a good monstery one.
I think in the chat here, I think it was I'm trying to see who it was. I think it was Armand. It said he has the same shirt. He's like stop raiding my closet. I got that shirt too. but
yeah, I don't think the Gargoyle one I ever had. I think I missed that one.
The Gargoyle one was weird. This is strange. I don't know where it comes from, but this is
not the strangest. We've already gone over the strangest. But. Yes,
Rex is saying the answer to the BG and Konnan thing is the answer is weed. I think you're probably right. but
sounds like a strong answer.
Yeah. Shark Boy appears and he's like, "What do you want from me? God damn, I don't want to be your partner." He's like pulls out a box of chutes and ladders. He's like, "You want me to? I don't want to be your friend." He goes, "Well, okay." Takes it. He goes, it kind of implies like, "All right, we'll play." Like, I'll play chutes and ladders with you. The Shark Boy and New Jack thing, J-Bone, is some of the most classic TNA stuff ever. I think it's fucking hilarious.
I'm loving it because you've got the extreme. You don't know what the hell is going to fly out of New Jack's mouth, and then you switch it over to almost like a childlike mentality with Shark Boy, where he's not saying anything yet. You know, this isn't the Shark Boy 316 or whatever. It comes a few years later, I think it is. I don't remember when, but so yeah, this is all very interesting. You know, this new tag team relationship because it's so two opposite ends of the spectrum here. You got the extreme maniac, psycho, multi-felon guy that's on the roster now, and then you got Shark Boy over here, who's almost like a cartoon character in the ring. So yeah, it's crazy. Opposites attract, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for, right? But I always go back to when they were playing. They're playing Candyland before, right?
Candyland.
Yeah. Back to the sugar plum. Back to the sugar bear plum tree. I thought he was singing on that one. Hilarious.
Well, today has a perfect. He's like, they're the odd couple. That's what they are.
That's what I know there was somebody made a little video tribute to their little pairing, but I was asking Jarrett, Impact social media guy, I'm like, could you please just make a playlist or a supercut of the New Jack and Shark Boy? I mean, he never answers me, but I was like, I hope he could.
Come on, Garrett.
Come on, Garrett. It would be amazing because he puts a lot of TNA. Come on, man. He puts a lot of TNA clips out.
He does.
If you follow Garrett, he puts like classic shit out on his personal Twitter, and even on the main show, the company Twitter too, when he runs that. But some of the real deep cut stuff that he just wants to like talk about. he'll put on his personal. So Garrett,
and I have a feeling they may do that again. Because obviously Shark Boy was going to be at No Place Like Home, which sadly didn't happen. So I think they would have ramped up some of the Shark Boy history. So I could see that happening again. Sadly, we didn't get that, but
maybe next year, man.
There's always time for Shark Boy to come back.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. We go to Slash and New Jack at this point. That's going to be the match, the hard 10 match. Nothing in between there, right? I think we went right to the match. I'm just making sure.
Did we get
a little music video, like a recap video here in the middle somewhere?
Yeah, they go over the rules again of the.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was like a video rule of the rules of the
and the last match showing it. Yeah,
it was a little highlight reel of what happened at the Hard 10 tournament last.
If you hit the guy, you get a point.
Oh, the point system of Hard 10.
Oh my God.
It's become more complicated than the people want to talk. People say like the King of the Mountain's complicated. Forget that.
Yeah,
I'm surprised this doesn't get made more fun of. The Hard 10
that they dropped it. The thing is, they kept going the King of the Mountain year after year. The Hard 10. Spoiler alert! I think it dies a slow death.
It's the Hard 10 tournament. I mean, okay, in an odd theory, it's not terrible in the sense of that it's like you have to come up with a clever combination to win it. I get that. It's like you have to win by a certain amount of points. It takes that. But when you have certain ways that are so easy to get the point, like in this match, at one point, Slash and New Jack, they're just going back and forth with cookie sheets, like 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. You don't need all that. I don't need all. Make it just like 4 things that can get you points. Like a table spot, a pile drive,
like I was at a show tonight and I came from like 2 out of 3 tables. Like 1-1, that third table wins. Like keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
That's a lot of tables.
For indie promotion, that's a lot of tables. What company, by the way? Where were you at tonight? ICW?
Today was H2O, Matt Tremont's promotion.
He's done now, right? He retired today?
He's done. Last night, that's what I was telling J-Bone yesterday. He had his retirement match last night. It was part of a 2-night extravaganza. So night 1 went very late. It went till like my time. It ended after midnight. Tonight it was a little earlier, so I got back a little earlier.
He's an OG hardcore guy, East Coast CZW guy, basically, right?
Yeah. He went about 15. Like you look at it, he was really 15, 16 years in the business, I think, because he's only 31 now. But probably as a pure deathmatch guy, maybe not a bad idea to get out a little earlier as a deathmatch guy. If you kind of got away without major issues, not a bad idea to walk away. And plus he's a trainer and stuff. But in wrestling, just like Terry Funk, who knows?
Yeah. A lot of people were thanking him last. Sammy being the reason I'm tying this in. Sammy was I think he has a good friendship with him. Sammy's, a CZW guy too.
Yeah, they were there at the same time.
Yeah, he's good friends with Tremont. So Sammy was really putting him over last night. He was just his Twitter was full of love for Tremont. So God damn it, Zach Bonifer. This tournament history lasts longer than Trent's marriage. That's a good one. But let's keep going here. So no, it's a weird one. I mean, New Jack wins. It took a table spot, but they were like tied up and went over 10. That's the thing too. You go over 10. Like the skill of the match should be like you have only 3 ways to get points or 4 ways to get points, and you got to make it a hit 10. That's it. Like that's having it be. I swear when they were cookie sheeting each other back and forth, one. Jeremy Borash on the loudspeaker going 1 point for him, 1 point for him. They're tied. 1 point for him. New Jack leads. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I think we've learned that scoring systems and things like this in wrestling doesn't work. Great for MMA, great for other things. Wrestling hasn't figured out. I think the Grand Championship has taught us that it really doesn't work for like the couple matches that were okay. It's not really to a benefit. I know you're trying for that extra realism, but it's really not. And especially in this is just we could play that freaking soundbite all night.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it just doesn't have it. It just doesn't have it. So I'm gonna just say the hard 10 for me is just not a win. But yeah, New Jack wins. That was it. Slash. I mean, New Church is just getting they're waning at this point. There's not much going on.
Yeah, new church fumes at this point.
Yeah, which is sad because they were. I still say they were a great team. OGs. We always talk about how they don't get enough love.
Yeah. I'll tell you, if Saturn would have stayed with them and not gone over to the extreme, that's what they needed. They needed something like a Saturn,
like a really workhorse guy. Yeah. Saturn was on fire in TNA. If he was a regular week-to-week guy with the new church, could have been cool. I know J-Bone's a huge Saturn fan. They have the same hairstyle, so he was a big Saturn guy. So he was.
I identified with Moppy. It's
Jay, you and the Sinister Minister now have the same hairstyle too, which is great. You guys, you should have gone as him for Halloween, Jay.
That's terrifying. I actually trimmed my goatee today. It started getting pretty. It was a couple inches long. I actually trimmed it all down.
I thought maybe Trent's rubbing off on you, getting all fancy.
Oh, I went to a barber shop last weekend called McFly's. Back to the Future theme, and they show all three movies back to back to back. The guy did an amazing job on it. I have to clean it up, for the last couple of days. But man, you saw that photo I posted, guys. It was smooth sailing.
Yeah, you had that. I don't know how they do the line and the whatever. Oh my goodness, a line in the beard that looked slick.
Yeah, they were doing a little fade in the beer. Very nice.
The guy was fantastic. He's a former wrestler. He was an indie worker too. He runs the shop, which turned out I didn't know.
He said he knew all the wrestlers because it's there in Crown Point. So with the shows going on there, I know they were kind of all hitting it up. So that makes a little more sense.
Oh, is that what they were doing? That okay? I didn't. I know the guys.
I think EC3 even did his like virtual gimmick table thing before the show that I went out there. He did it from McFly's.
Oh, he did. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, interesting. Yeah, the good's super cool. It's a big NWO logo and for the front window. I mean, it's Mark heaven.
It's your kind of place.
It's not my kind of place. It's worth an hour drive for me to get to just get my.
That's my new barber.
Yeah, no shit. Maybe I take care of the hair one of these days. But we go from let's see where we at here. We get the. So now we're Tenay. We'll sit down with Triple X. They talk of their history, WCW. This was very good, Jay. Yeah, I like that it was a build up for Triple X. It was like we know these guys here, but it's like let's not forget Elix Skipper was a WCW guy. He was there. Chris Daniels has been a worldwide indie guy. I mean, he was. Bill, you remember this? Mid 90s ish. Chris Daniels was like the only indie guy that used to get a shit ton of buzz. Like he was like this one indie guy, just like who had an amazing following, who was going all over the world. And it's like everybody would hear about, never on TV at that point. It was before he did the little WCW spot. And everybody knew about Chris Daniels. I knew about Christopher Daniels before like he was even on TV.
You're right. He's one of the few at that time that were out there, like PWI was putting stuff out there about him.
That's it.
So like you'd be like, oh, who's this guy on the scene? But then you start hearing some more of those guys as you hit the 2000 era when you had these new, like obviously TNA and Ring of Honor and all these promotions popping up where they were getting a little bit more featured than just straight indie work. But then in that mid 90s time frame, you're right. There was, with all that competition, Daniels was making a name for himself. It's surprising he didn't pop up earlier, really.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Gingerbread plum tree shark. Thank you for that gingerbread. Back to the gingerbread plum tree. Just never forget that.
Oh, and then the follow up to that was even more funny. He landed on the vanilla cream and said, "I get the white woman" or something like that. I was like, "Oh my god."
What's Rex talking about here? I laughed when Tenay gets pissy at the mic because Don West cued the ring announcer. When was that? I'm trying to remember when.
Was that when?
I'm trying to remember when that was.
Was that when Sanders was at ringside there and they were doing all that kind of goofy stuff?
Well, Sanders was being real goofy and like hitting Don up about like selling baseball cards and stuff. During the hard 10 match.
Yeah, and then he started like doing his own commentary, and that whole segment was hilarious. And Don West was getting a kick out of Sanders. Sanders was gold in this.
He was great.
He was at ringside.
Well, Sanders, when he wants to, he had a lot of talent. Sanders, Just
It's
sadly never got to that full potential. But that was a guy that when he had the right storylines and stuff going for him, he could put it all together. That's why I say when the next time we're down like that Georgia area, we're getting on the Sanders party bus.
Oh, 100%. I'll get the info from Russo. We'll go. This is okay, Gary. I'm going to give you this one. There's been a couple of the Trent marriage jokes going on here today, but I think Trent's hair is longer than his marriage. That's a good one today. That is a good one. I'm going to give you that one.
No. And there's Rex, who's the start of the New Jack match.
Oh, what do we got? Okay, start New Jack. What do you say?
That's where he's saying that.
Oh, that's the heart of the hard 10. Yeah, when because Mike Sanders won the week before. That when he was out there, and then they cued the ring announcer, and then he was Mike Sanders started kicking in all the commentary, and the whole thing was just goofy. It was very entertaining.
It was a blast. It was a good dude. Sanders, you're right though. I'm totally down. World opens up. We're going on the Sanders party bus when Impact goes back to
got it right. Sanders is the best part of WCW's dying days.
All right, you're 100% right. If anyone can find this, I'm going to put this. I think I might have mentioned this before. There is a promo. Sanders and Flair face off on Thunder. I know it's Thunder for sure, and it is one of the best face-offs I've ever seen. And Sanders was a rookie back then, and he goes toe to toe with Ric Flair, to the point where you see Flair looking at him like, "Gee, kid, you got it." But he never got to just go beyond. He was during the dying days, but man, he could have been a guy. He could have been a great manager. Mike Sanders to me was gold.
If it was in that last year, I think I already tuned out at that point because I think the booking was just getting here's that word, wonky.
Yeah.
And I started to actually watch, a little bit of WWF here and there just out of curiosity. Be like, all right, what's over here? Because I can't. I just couldn't stand the booking anymore. It was getting way too ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like that last year, I pretty much tuned out, like over half the time. So I know that I've seen other people talk about it online that Sanders shined in that last year.
He did, man.
He became like an authority figure. Like he became, I don't know.
Commissioner Sanders.
Thank you.
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, he was commissioner for a while in that last year. And I was like, commissioner? Oh my God. How the hell did he become commissioner? That's crazy.
That's not wacky.
That actually piques my interest. I'm curious how that happens. But maybe someday down the road I'll start because they actually started putting Thunders on the that other network.
Well, they did. Okay. Yeah, Thunder had some gems. There were some definitely gems on Thunder. It had its moments for sure.
Actually, we can talk about it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Well, later today now for the Sunday show. But I was actually at the show, got into a good discussion with a big fan about Impact Plus and why he would pay more money if they did it a little bit differently. So.
Interesting. Let's talk about it tomorrow. Open forum that tomorrow. Keep that one on the docket. I want to hear about that.
Yeah.
We go to the outside. Harris Brothers are outside drinking some beer on the pickup truck. Ron Killings walks by him and goes, "What's up? What y'all into?" And then like, "You son of a bitch!" And like they chase him. And he kind of instigates. They chase him. It leads him behind a truck. You hear like the brawling going on. Konnan comes in, jumps him. And then both Konnan and Ron Killings walk away. Killings empties the sock and has like 2-liter bottles or something, like a couple liter bottles, like like hard shaken up liter bottles of soda. And he used it to knock him out.
A liter of cola.
Liter cola, but usually it's the sock quarters, but they want the liter bottles of soda. And he knocked out the Harris boys. So this is also harkens back to that very unaired racist Harris boy.
Anytime I see this, I can't help but think of that.
I had somebody reach out to one of our listeners, and say, "Hey, could you send me the link? I really want to see what the hell they said." I'm like, I don't have it. I told him to reach out to you, J-Bone. I said, "Get up, J-Bone." He found it. But I'm like, if you want to watch it, we're never going to post it, but it's on a Russian website. You can watch it on this Russian site. But
I know it was one of our listeners sent it to us. I don't want to dare. Was it Rex? I know he's in the chat
Rex,
now.
did you send that to us? Tell Rex, let us know.
One of them sent it to us, but I forget. Honestly, I forget off the top of my head who it was. I may have been Rex.
Might have been Rex.
If you jump on the Twitch and donate many rubles, we'll think about it.
Right. So no, they jump them. So this is the seeds of the crew, 3 Live crew, because now you got Konnan and Killings here now. Konnan was team with BG, so you have all 3 of them center pointed through Konnan at this point on the show. So there's the seeds of 3LK are laid right here. So J-Bone with the low rider going.
J-Bone's half in there right now.
rolling.
We get the return of the SATs with Goldylocks, and they're back. They hype themselves up. She puts over Red, and they go, "We're proud of Red, but we're here to do our thing." After they're done, Eric Watts comes in, very sexy, comes up to Goldie, whispers in her ear, and he's like, "Come on with me." She's like, "But I can't." Like, she kind of resists, but not. Extremely sexy. I'm talking like it was hot, steamy, fucking soap opera shit. Then he walked up to her and just went right into her ear, just like this. "Come with me, baby. We'll talk in the back." And like, she's like, "Man," it was like, wow, shit.
He was sliding into her DMs.
Oh, this is before he slid into something, but it was no DMs. He slid right into her microphone. Just come on, baby, let's go to the back. Yeah.
It made me uncomfortable watching it.
Triple X and SATs, solid match, nothing too crazy. We did get something in this one though. Triple X wins, but did you catch the finish? It was Reg. Reg, we gave you the credit. We thought
I said I was 100%. I don't want to mistakenly.
Okay, so guys, we want to see the promo. Ask Rex. He's got the link. He can send you the link. It's fucking nuts. Reg, you actually tell us about it. How crazy was that goddamn promo? But the finish on this one, guys. Who caught what I'm about to reference on the finish of this Triple X SAT match? MySpace message. Thanks, Arnold. Did either of you catch what the finish was on this?
The finish or what happened after the match?
No, the finish on this one.
Oh, I don't remember. Oh, it was it happened so fast. The Elix skipper like reversed something and rolled him up or something.
He did the rope walk.
That's what it was.
To the Hurricanrana. Now, this is just the 3rd top rope. A year later, the cage. You know where I'm going with this, Bill?
Yeah. The one of the most infamous spots in the history of the company.
Probably the most infamous spot.
Yeah, still replayed all the time.
Oh, this mirrored the cage walk.
It did. It was very similar.
Was it Harris, right? Who gets
this is really the first time we see this.
It's the first time
he uses it again.
Yeah, and that's why it kind of stuck out to me. I was like, man, it's the same move just on the top rope. And you kind of think back on the psychology. It's like you could tell he's like practicing this here.
Yeah.
And then when the time came
right now.
Yeah, when the time came, it's like, fuck, I'm gonna do it here. Like, no guts, no glory. Like, he always said that he never planned it. He just kind of went with it.
And he's like, you know what? It makes sense. It's like the top of a rope.
Like he mentioned to Harris. Yeah, he said, I'm gonna try something. And Harris didn't think he'd pull it off, but he just fucking rolled with it. I mean, to this day, the most popular clip in the company history. It's like there's a few that always get met. The few top 3 I can think of. The rope walk or the cage walk, the AJ Styles cage face slam from Abyss, the one that he snaps back on, and then the oh god, who was it, guys? You guys in the chat might know this. Was somebody did hanging off the Ultimate X upside down, and somebody gave a just like kind of a cutter, like a swinging cutter from the guy who was hanging. I want to say it was Daniels and Kazarian. Maybe I could be wrong there.
I think maybe Sabin was in that too.
Sabin was, somebody was hanging upside down off the X. Somebody jumped off the rope and then just took the guy while swinging, cut him. Another AJ one where AJ's hanging. Somebody kicked him and he invert flips. Like, there's been a lot of classics.
That's the one popped.
So many classics.
Yeah,
a lot of classics. I mean, I'm sure you guys in the chat will start running these off. So definitely put those out there. What else we got here? Let's see. Did something happen after this match? I didn't write down anything else.
Oh, yeah, Raven.
After that, I didn't write that down. Break it down, Bill. Go ahead.
Well, after that, you have Raven comes into the ring and he DDTs the SATs. before he leaves. And I think, even though we hadn't seen him in a while, this is the SAT's return, but also I think they're done now. I don't think they come back.
Is this the end?
I think this is the end of the Spanish announce team.
So they only made it like a year-ish, huh? Because we're not even at the year point now.
It was
not counting Explosion or anything like that. I don't think they appear there, but I have a feeling this is that. Then maybe they go to Ring of Honor.
Really? What were you going to say, Jay? You were going to say something?
Well, they were also doing stuff in MLW.
Oh yeah, during this time frame.
I've seen
all these guys were going back and forth between all these promotions. Honestly,
yeah, it was because these were all starting up at the same time between NWA, TNA, Ring of Honor, MLW, and there was a couple others that didn't make it. But yeah, this was part of that collateral damage thing that Raven was talking about the week before. It's also revenge for what Amazing Red did to him because they replayed that.
And especially in their their pre-match interview, they mentioned Red and everything. They showed
cousin
Red. Yeah, that's interesting. So if they don't come back, I'm kind of surprised. Like that was it. That's how we went out, huh? That was the end of it.
It seems that way. That's I don't think they. Oh, and Rex is they did go to MLW.
Rex is on point with TNA knowledge.
He is.
Good job, Rex.
Rex is all about the early TNA, man.
I love it, man. Rex, and he knows all the trivia and the inside out too, which is great.
He's the critical sting of early TNA.
Yes. What were you gonna say, Jay?
I'm curious to watch this. MLW just recently started putting up their classic stuff from around this time too. It's in 2002, 2003.
Where's it at?
It's on their YouTube channel. You can watch it for free. They're putting up like an episode a week. I don't know how many they're doing, but the company comeback is actually for like later in November in a few weeks. So
yeah, it's like mid-November.
It's all leading up to that. But yeah, a classic one they just put up was a big thing between CM Punk and Raven and other stuff. The Extreme. What is this? They keep talking about the Extreme Horsemen.
Carino, CW Anderson, right?
Terry Funk was still running crazy with hardcore stuff with Dustin, Steve Carino. Yeah, I mean it's nuts. So I mean I'm tempted to watch it. It's because there's a lot of similar faces floating around here.
Oh, it's classic
since
stuff.
You just mentioned it. It was the one match that you guys did before I got on. But I'll tell you, man, based on that opening of this show with CM Punk, guy did not look like a star on this show.
D'Lo calls him a jobber in the promo.
He looked like one in this show. So it just shows you, man, you never know. Like, guys need time to develop, and that's obviously one there because I think 9 out of 10 people would have looked at him and been like, doesn't got it.
Yeah, it's true. I'm sure he was told that too.
And this was just so early. I don't even know like if this is. I'm trying to like put a time frame on this because there was a time when he did went around the whole country and did stuff with Cole Cabana, and then he did another thing where he went around the whole country with Chris Hero. So I don't know if that was prior to this or if that was after this. Because it's just one of those things where I don't think there was a lot of eyes on CM Punk at that time.
No, I mean he made his way later on. I will say he definitely, as much as I never cared for him, I can't deny that he became a top guy. That's what I said at the top of the show. So he definitely became a main player in his own right. So yeah, like you said, Bill, you never know who's gonna Jason Cross.
You never know. That's what it says. Like so sometimes you look at someone, you're like, yeah, they got it, and then we've seen it like. Sonny and we talk about Mike Sanders, like they got it, and nothing ever happens. But then other times, guys, they don't look like they have it, but there is some deep unlocked potential that's going to come out later.
It just takes.
WWA. Did you talk about that with I assume in that early one with
Jarrett?
Technically, Stinger talk.
Well, we talked about how it was basically the plant and the seed because Sting does show up later in 03 for that first little run he does, like the 4-show arc he does. Before he comes back later on in 05, 06. So he does tease it here for a little bit. So we do see a visual of Sting. So we talked about that. So we get that. So Raven takes him out. We go back to the locker. So the Sports Entertainment Extreme locker room. Tracy, my favorite knockout, comes in.
Tracy with a Y.
Tracy with a Y at this point. Not an I. The Y comes in. Desire's like, "Who the fuck you doing in here?" And she goes, "Well, I got a match. Me and David have a match." And she's like, "Well, you want to tell him, man? You got to talk to me." And she gets in her face. They brawl over David Young. Slap. Fighting around. Tracy's there. Skirts flying. Everything's going around.
There was definitely intentionally, since Tracy's introduction, a lot of Tracy skirt flying.
A lot of it.
This is not now a coincidence anymore. This is a planned angle, literally a planned angle with Tracy.
No, no doubt. No doubt.
That couldn't get any. I mean, if it was any shorter, it would have been part of the shirt. You know, I mean,
she comes in.
Don't sneeze.
She comes in. They fire. About the guys are kind of like, yeah, go ahead, you whoop her ass. They're just kind of hanging around. They brawl. They beat the shit out of each other. They brawl to the outside to get into the ring. David Young eventually comes in, spine busters Tracy, takes her out. But I got to give it the Desire here. She's not great, but she's not a bad like instigator, shit talker, shit stirrer. Babe. When she gets to stir shit, she's okay. Working a match, she's whatever.
Yeah, as a valet type, occasional bumpish type stuff that in that capacity, sky was the limit for Desire. Like I know probably not much longer before she gets hurt and pretty much is done with the biz. But that's if she was just out on a bigger platform, Desire had it all. Big Desire fan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's weird. It's weird that she really. I think they tried to make her a wrestler. I think here you're seeing. I think maybe whoever's writing it's like, be it Russo, whoever's like, oh, you're not a wrestler, but you could talk some shit. So let's put you where you work. Mm-hmm. And then you're. I think she's out not too long after this. So not too much longer with Desire. But we'll see. But this was a great brawl. It was a good brawl.
Not too much longer with Desire.
Jeremy Borash.
That should be one of the throwback bites.
We need that.
Desire.
Going down the aisle from Sports Entertainment Street, Sonny Siaki, accompanied by Desire. Like he did it on purpose. I know he did. We go to Eric Watts and Goldylocks. A little steamy, sick, fucking soap opera moment here. She's got a corner by a closet, and
not the scumbag's closet.
No, this is like it is janitorial closet, but
maybe it is scumbag's closet.
And he's implying that they did it, like, hey, we've done it before, and he's turning it on here, man. He is. And J-Bone, this is like when you're seducing Mrs. J-Bone on a Saturday night, not this Saturday night, but normal Saturday night. This is he's going at it heavy here, steamy, and they start making out afterwards. Hot stuff here, Jay. What do you? I want to get J-Bone's opinion on. Get the old man's opinion on this.
Oh, it just made me really uncomfortable. Made me.
J-Bone at a loss for words. Look at him.
What is this guy doing in the closet with? Oh, sorry.
Well, he was like, it seemed very natural. Now I want to say, and this is not to put Goldie on blast.
Way too natural.
Well, that's what Goldie, I think even on our show implied that she did date somebody in TNA and it was a mistake. She shouldn't have done it because they were making out in the scene. I'm assuming maybe it was Watts, because this angle seems like one of those things with like, hey, are you comfortable doing this with somebody maybe you're seeing already kind of thing? Because she does talk about she did date somebody for a while and it was like she regretted it didn't work out, whatever it might be. I'm guessing maybe it was Watts. I don't want to assume that. I'm just thinking because
I don't know if it was, but definitely that history maybe resulted in this booking, like booking an angle like this, even if it was maybe just a random person in production.
It could be.
Or
more
plum tree.
More, oh God. The reason I thought maybe Watts, because it's one of those things where like if you're gonna pitch such an angle, best do it with somebody you're maybe seeing or something. So maybe it could have been no idea, but
what seems like some natural chemistry there.
Yes. So interesting though. It was a very heavy moment. Okay. biggest letdown of the show coming up here. Okay, the biggest flop of the show is about to be coming up. This. Okay, first off, this is gonna get the sound by J Bone. This gets the book this. Okay, the mass luchador that's been going on for 10 fucking weeks at this point. Okay, terrorizing Kid Kash. Jay, we've toyed with the idea. We know we knew it was Trinity sometimes. We knew it wasn't Trinity sometimes. We knew it was some extra. We're like, that's a girl. No, that's a guy now. It's a girl. It's a guy. Okay. So that's coming up. But before we go to it, so we get the recap of it, right? Kid Kash in the back, kind of getting ready for his mantle, pacing around, shitty. A sexy nurse comes in for a pre-match exam. Okay, this is what I got to ask Nurse Nicole. This is if this is normal process here. I hope not. But he says, "Well, you want to check me out? I got a pulled groin. You want to inspect this?" And she's like, "Maybe I need an oral exam." A lot of sexual innuendo, right?
Well, this was very similar to like Tracy's
same thing.
The first intro.
Yeah,
it was like the same thing. Part two.
Part two. She's about to go down on him at what they're trying to show, and he stops her because you think I'm an idiot. I know Tracy sent you in here. I'm not a moron. I know she sent you in to do this to me. And she's like, "No, what are you talking about?" And then she like nut shots him, starts beating his ass. We don't know who is this lady. I don't know who this is. Does anybody know? Is she a worker? I have no idea who this is.
I have no idea who it is, but she beats the shit out of him. I mean, she knees him in the groin. That takes him down, and she starts hitting him over the head with the clipboard. One of those hard wooden clipboards with the so she's just cranking on him. And the end line of this segment is the kicker. She goes, "Next time it's going to be a
rectal exam."
Yeah, rectal exam. And I was like, "Oh God."
Did anybody know? Check the chat here. Does anybody know who was this? Was she another wrestler? Was she a new wrestler? Who was this?
My assumption, I don't know who it was, but probably somebody from NWA Wildside. That's kind of where a lot of these people were coming in and out of in these type of roles. Well, that's not bad either. Like the infamous Lady in Blue was from a local establishment.
Local strip. Okay. I don't know if they were introducing a new rookie or something. She wasn't terrible at the acting in terms of like for wrestling, I mean, it wasn't like she's not winning an Academy Award, but she played up.
That's why I feel like somebody with a little bit of chops and not just like out the club, as they say.
Like she came from somewhere. Like she definitely had cut a promo in the past or something. She's not just some just stripper they pulled off. Like she's done something because her timing was too good for it to be an amateur.
She wasn't like X-Pac's blonde that was literally stumbling all over the place.
Which was X-Pac's blonde was Ryan Shamrock, wasn't it? That was the infamous Ryan Shamrock, the kayfabe sister of Ken Shamrock, Impact Wrestling Hall of Famer, by the way, man. Hall of Famer, by the way, mind you.
Most dangerous man. And half a Wild Stallions.
Half a Wild, still going. He's a lot of people assumed the Hall of Fame would be the retirement. It's not. Ken Shamrock, by the way, still going. just letting everybody know that.
He's a monster.
Oh my God.
He's more jacked than he came in the company. I mean, he's putting in overtime. Look, I just want to apologize. I mean, that his sister did a great job in those segments with X-Pac several weeks ago. I just want to let everybody know that she's probably one of the top knockouts back in this time.
Yes, because Ken may or may not watch this and may or may not come after Jabba.
Yes, Jay will take it easy. He might kill you. He probably will kill you.
Or Sammy will get 45 billion people to get you.
5 billion retweets.
Hey, if I get 45 billion views, I'll be famous. I won't give a shit then.
Yeah, seriously. So the match comes up. The big reveal, the masked luchador. We get immediately the masked luchador comes out like a gazelle, and I'm like, it's a girl. Clearly, okay, this is a female. It's a female body, and immediately on the mic, and it's Trinity with her very New York accent. "Hey, Kid Kash, you want to come?" Like, That's it? Like, that's the reveal? And she takes off the fucking mask and it's Trinity. I'm like, that's it? But I'm like, all that. I mean, but some of the stuff, the callback now makes no sense to me. She interfered in shit that wasn't always Kid Kash. She interfered with Jerry Lynn. Remember that? She fucked with Jerry Lynn. What did that have to do with anything? I'm lost.
Because it wasn't just Kid Kash this whole time.
It wasn't just Kid Kash.
And sometimes Trinity was out there when the masked luchador was out there.
Exactly.
So there's a bigger picture to this that is not being explained, and it's just kind of like, oh, all right, whatever.
Now, I'm willing to go another week to see if we get more out of it. You know what I mean? Like if they go with it and they say like, well, another one comes out, it's clearing out Trinity. It's like, I'm willing to give it that, but as of right now, this is the terrible payoff. Yeah. This is awful at this point. Because
the only thing that could save it needs to be like, since we're in the Halloween season, and spoiler alert, it's been at least 20 years. But like Scream, one of my favorites in high school, came out and watched that movie probably 100 times over my life. But the whole thing, like, you think there is the killer, but maybe there's more than one person as the killer.
That's
same thing here. Like, that's how this has to be revealed, because it was so obvious it was different people. Like,
exactly.
You can't treat your audience as a bunch of stupid people. And if it ends like this, that's what they did.
To me, if this is it, you killed it.
We're just gonna have to play that clip, that bite all day, because that's what this angle is. If that's how it ends, but you're right. Let's see, because right now it even felt like this. Like, it felt rushed and like, why are you doing it? And that's it. Like, there's got to be more to this. There's got to
be more.
Hopefully.
Well, and out of all the times that we've given them compliments, even back during these first several weeks of the company's existence on their storytelling, especially TNA's side, Tenay's side of, putting little nuggets in during the match or backstage segments to, help storylines along. I mean, it's been really good. This is one of the ones that's been kind of, one of the stinkers of anything,
This one just, man. On top of which, Jay, the match was terrible. Trinity was botching like crazy.
Oh my God!
It was her worst performance.
Well, he as much as we put it over.
That last move, he saved her.
Oh, life. She could have broken her neck. She was going to break her neck. She went for a moon. Anyone didn't see it. She went for a moonsault, and she was going straight. I'm talking what happened to Hayabusa, where he moonsaulted and he landed on his neck.
Yeah,
that's where Trinity was headed.
Yeah,
he catches her and just
saved her.
Oh my God, terrible.
Yeah,
she eventually does break her neck in a stunt. I know that. I remember if you guys recall, she broke her. She had a neck problem, I believe, when she was doing her stunt work. I believe. Don't quote me. I think she did break her neck down the line, but she was just. This was Trinity's worst performance, and we put her over like crazy. You guys know that we talk about Trinity like, she deserves the world when it comes
should
to
have the X title.
Should have the X title. But this, for some reason, I don't. Part of me's thinking though, it was the bodysuit. I'm starting to think it was the bodysuit. It's a very one-piece suit,
like restrictive. Like, even when she came out there and it was like walking out there all sneaky and slinky, it just looked awkward. It just maybe it didn't fit right. Maybe
I don't know, because a couple moves she was doing just didn't flow, and she's a great worker. So that's my thing. Was like, she's never botched really much in these matches we've watched of her.
Oh.
And she was so restricted during this. I'm like, what was going on with Trinity here?
Yeah.
So strange. I didn't know what was going on, but I think it's a suit. But yeah, Kash pile drives the shit out of her, protects her. You could tell he really took care of her on this one, which was professional as all.
Yeah.
But gets on the mic. He's like, you gotta finish what I'm gonna finish what you started, bitch. You go, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I was like, holy shit. I'm gonna fucking kill you. And like just walks off. I mean, it was intense. It was like domestic abuse intense.
Still holding his crotch.
Oh, still holding his crotch. Tenay pitches over to Jarrett. This is where I got confused, Jay. They implied Jarrett's suspended now. So this is where I'm like, well, who the fuck suspended? Now he's suspended. And then Bill Barron's trying to hand him like his paperwork. to get him out of there. Because I go back to the beginning. It's like, why was Jarrett so concerned if Raven was suspended? Like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like, why does Jarrett care if Raven's suspended?
Well, because he said he was going to protect him.
Yeah.
And so that he would be at his best.
Right. Well, it makes sense that he's suspended, not Raven. If you it's just the whole thing's a mess. The whole thing's so wacky.
Well, and he's like going up to him. He's all sheepish. It's like, well, if you're trying to get him out, then where is security? Where's the backup to try to get him? Like back in the first several weeks of the company, that's all there was. It was the company versus Jarrett.
That's right.
And there was always like a ton of people on top of Jarrett to try to get him out of the building, with his shenanigans and everything that was going on. And it's the complete opposite right now.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, could you please leave? It's like, all right. What's going on?
Well, he says he's going to go take a dump and wipe his ass with these suspension papers. And says he's not leaving. So
already an improvement with the Jarrett character.
Yeah. Sports Entertainment Extreme locker room here. Harris comes in, not really too friendly here. Disco very friendly with him though. Glenn is just all like, hey, buddy, how you doing? Good to see you. He goes, I heard you need a partner. Storms out. Sabin's gonna team with you. And he's like, I guess, like he's just not having it. Hesitantly going along with this. Dropping a little
Storm, it's bullshit what is going on with the cowboy.
Yeah. So where do we
He's
leave
not buying
Storm?
his personal issues.
No, he's not believing it. But they give him Sabin. No, this is just funny to see Sabin like this. 22-year-old punk. He's the Ace Austin of this era. I mean,
he is the Ace Austin. You nailed it with that Ace Austin reference in his.
Look at his hair, even down to the hair. He's down to the hair. He's Ace Austin, like X Division champion. And I need somebody. Please do me a favor. Get me a side by side of Ace and Sabin with X titles on. I would just love to see it. I might have to go back and do it, but it's the comparison's amazing.
Just because it's like out of nowhere. I think going back to the nurse, that Rex the boss man, he's all over this early.
Rex,
TNA.
my man over here, Rex. Female wrestler called Nurse Veronica, Simply Luscious. Interesting, very nice, man. Thank you very much, Rex. Man,
he
he
a gold
is
star, Rex.
Rex, you changed that raw that raw avatar. I'll give you double points for that one.
A nice TNI logo. Are you suggesting there?
But even in TNA logo, maybe for
At
these
least TNA,
throwbacks,
early
make it a
TNA
TNA logo. So no, interesting. Yeah. So Sabin's there. So we get out there. It's Jerry Lynn and Justin Credible taking on Sabin and Harris. So Jerry and Justin, Bill, you were there for those ECW matches. You saw that feud. Great, one of the best ECW feuds of all time. Jerry Lynn and Justin Credible, one of those top 10 feuds that they had over there in the arena days. Reluctantly teaming. Pretty standard match. Nothing really stuck out to me on this one, off by you guys, but Sex wins on this one, and then Jerry and Justin implode. And then Jerry gets on the mic. He goes, just like ECW, I'm going to kick your ass, you asshole. But anything else stick out to you guys in this one? I felt it was a pretty standard match. Nothing too crazy on this. I don't know if you had any notes, either one of you. So anything, nothing particular for me, really. Just pretty standard point A to point B match just to get you to Jerry and Justin.
The chemistry with everyone here. It was interesting, because they referenced the whole, what Jerry Lynn used to have. They had a rivalry with Credible back in the ECW days.
Yeah.
And then and they were working really well here. And then the whole Chris Harris Sabin thing. Sabin's behavior during the match is kind of like the little kid that joins the group, like, oh, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to help this guy. Oh, okay.
It's Ace Austin in 2003. I'm telling you, it's mind boggling.
Yeah.
What we saw Ace Austin's progression is like, I'm watching Sabin do it, in 2003, and it's fucking awesome. Because he's the prick instigating everybody. The young prodigy 22-year-old. Ace Austin is the young prodigy 22-year-old, won the X Division title It just Ben just fucking with everybody. Eddie Edwards and fucking this guy. It's like shit. It's great. I'm with you on that, Jay. But so this kicks off a good feud.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was probably the best match of this crazy tournament.
Yeah, solid. It was a solid match. Nothing stuck out as a wow, but it's just a very solid match. Good point.
Although they were really, once again, we've been getting a lot of it. The Chris Harris heel. They're really trying to push that. It seems during the commentary.
And they haven't really featured Just Incredible outside of his his extreme gimmick. You know, the Extreme Crew, or what do they call them? Extreme
Revolution.
Extreme Revolution.
Yeah, they had a couple different names, but it stuck with Extreme Revolution.
And he always came out with those guys. So now this is a chance for him to do a one-on-one thing with someone and really kind of shine, which is nice. You know, it's not just, oh, he did this and whatever with a bunch of other guys. So that's I'm actually really excited to see that because I really liked him back in the day. So
yeah. We kick it to the back, and it's not Goldie, it's Eric Watts. And he's basically doing it backstage interview around it. So Goldie's gone, which is strange. He interviews Raven, and Raven says, "I should rip your eyes out of your head and urinate in the sockets, but I won't do it because you make me laugh, Watts." So it's these old friends. These guys live in Atlanta. These old WCW guys. They got this whole little clique. These two, Paige, they're all to this day friends. Disco, you know, they're all pals to this day. But a little hype for Raven Disco. Thank you, Elijah, for the shirt. Old school. It's my monster shirt for Halloween. But so they type up the match. Then we got a Disco and Raven. And the guys, I got a main event. I gotta say, it's a pretty fucking good match. Like they beat the shit out of each other on this one. We got a little stuff at the end, but before we get to the end, anything in the match? Any thoughts on the match? Let's start with Jay. Anything on the match stick out to you? I thought it was really solid, personally.
I ran out of time on this one. I kind of skipped to the end because the end is really big. I'm gonna rewatch it though.
Go ahead, Bill.
I thought I agree with you. I thought this was a very solid match.
Good brawl, all over the place.
Yeah, good brawl. I think once again, this just shows, and non-knocking Glenn on this, non-knocking Glenn. He had a good showing here, but Raven, once again, I think Raven is just so good.
So good, man.
And I think he made Glenn look like $1 million in this match.
Oh, Raven's he's just a solid fucking worker, man. He is just psychology, which is what Raven's strong.
That's what it was. This match was all psychology. Like if you're looking for big offense and stuff like that, this wasn't the match for you. But you're looking in psychology in the match. Just had very good, and that's Raven. That's really what he excels in
all day long. Raven is the psychology master. Like that's what he does. You know, he's known for psychology, and he brings it out in this match, man. But the Sandman interference kind of came out. It bothered me a little bit. I was like, really, the Sandman's interference here. But forget that. The interference truly comes where a clean-shaven, very somber-looking Vince Russo returns. Baseball bat to Raven at the end. Disco gets the win. Now, and then the interesting thing was Russo backing out, and he's like real somber, no facial, deadpan.
Yeah,
just kind of looking back, sad almost. Like the artwork for our show here kind of sums it up, but looking real down. Where are we going on this, man? This is the part that I'm thinking. He does interfere, takes out Raven. Where are we going with it? What do we think? I mean, we're gonna get to it next week, but where are we going with it? Thoughts?
I think. Well, excuse me, because when Russo departed, that was when Raven came in and took like the big spot, and he was supposed to be part of the whole revolutionary sex movement, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't he originally part of SCX?
Yes,
he was.
Well, now he's just kind of doing his own thing. And the fact that he had a match with Glenn Gilberti, and he's like riding that wire, like he's got this agenda, he's got this agenda. You know, what's going on with Raven? Well, yeah, of course he wants to get to that championship, but whose side is he really on? And now, obviously, with this now, Russo coming back, I think that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's like, hey, you used to be with us. Screw you.
Interesting, man. Bill, you got a thought on this one to wrap this up?
I think we've been watching the self-destruction of Sports Entertainment Extreme pretty much for a while now. Some valiant efforts, but
Russo's gone for a month at this point.
Yeah, a lot of ace holes in the Sports Entertainment locker room. And you see like near the end, it just like then like it seems like Sports Entertainment Extreme kind of gets forgotten for a little bit. Then they come back and just start randomly throwing members in again out of nowhere. So let's just say directionless, rudderless ship, if you will. And that's what it looks like. So I think that's probably why Vince is coming back. He needs to maybe interject something back to the group. So we'll see. But it's you really need it, because if you're going to keep that faction around, they needed it. Like, do credit, like Glenn cut some killer promos during this. It gave him a little bit of a shine coming out of this, but it wasn't a long-term solution to go that way.
No. It's interesting to see where it goes. I'm sure. I'm assuming Russo cuts a promo next week. Do we get a little explanation here? But it's a very interesting. Russo set something up at the end here, and you're just kind of like, what? He's not excited to interfere like when he pulled out Mr. Wrestling 5, whatever it was, So it's different. So we're set up with a nice little cliffhanger here. And where do we go? Now, keep in mind, at this point, we're about 3 weeks away from the 1-year anniversary show. Technically the first Slammiversary is about 3 weeks away at this stage. So episode 52 is actually, no, I mean, think about this. Well, yeah, episode 50, so we obviously week 52, but it'd be show-wise, I think we're at week 50 because there was the best ofs and stuff like that. So we didn't review those, and technically new episodes, it'll be episode 50, I think, marks the 1-year show. Or 51, because 1 week was the 1 week is a Christmas throwback. That's why. So episode 51 that we're going to review is the 1-year show, because like I said, 52 weeks, but 1 year was Christmas in there. Flashbacks. Remember, Jay, we didn't do that Christmas one, or we combined it into one thing. But
yeah, they did like a highlight show with a bit of interview throws in there.
Right. So that's why number 51 is technically the newest show. But Miller Air's saying it. I never thought I would say this, but Sports Entertainment Extreme was better with Russo. I mean, it was. That was the deal. It was the sport. It was his faction. So we'll see where it goes. I'm curious. This is a good cliffhanger. It got me interested in week 48 now. But that's it, guys. That is episode 47 of NWA-TNA. Solid show, progress. Certain stories progress further. A lot of cliffhanger. This is a cliffhanger episode. I'm going to give it that one. That's my final stamp. I'm going to let you guys get your final stamps. To me, you got me. I'm wondering where Trinity and Kash goes. Jerry and Justin, Russo at the end, Raven, that whole thing, Jarrett suspension, cliffhangers all the way. Just good handful of cliffhangers on this one. What about you, Jay?
I'm excited to see what kind of chaos breeds out of the Asylum Alliance, because I think that's going to get wrapped up soon.
Hopefully. 2 simultaneous tournaments. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, Bill.
I'm not sure what's up with the hard 10 thing. It's kind of weird. I mean, New Jack won this one, but they're featuring new faces, and they're bringing back a couple of old ones, like like BG James came back. And we'll see. It's a little different. It's still that new feeling kind of coming into the company post Raven versus Jarrett. That felt like a big turning of the page time in the company. So,
all right, cool. Bill, what do you got? Wrap it up.
I think you were right with the whole soap opera comparison with this episode. Very heavy. The cliffhanger. A lot of the storytelling on this. Obviously, not a huge fan out of the how the hard 10 and our tag tournaments going. Those ones were a little wonky. We'll just get the wonkiness in one more time.
Always.
But the heel angle from Jarrett needed. As long as Jarrett is going to be your top guy, that was desperately needed. So honestly, that's the win of the episodes for me, is that he's going in a different direction that will make his character much more tolerable. And I'm okay with that. Because I think it needed, I like, honestly, Super Jarrett's just driving me insane. So I need a break from Super Jarrett. It was just way too much.
It's a lot of Jarrett.
Because I got to be fair. Like if it was another company and they were doing that, I would have tuned out that guy by now. And this is what's been happening with Jarrett. Like honestly, almost at the AJ feud, I was done with him. But then with the Raven feud, I was doubly done.
Yeah, it's a little much. Like
it's Triple J.
Triple J. They were chanting, man. Yeah. But it's a lot of Jarrett. It's and this was the big complaint. If you watched in 2002 and 3,
I remember that was one of the things. I had those complaints back then.
People said it was
the Jeff Jarrett show.
And I remember people saying, "Look, from a business standpoint, he was the only guy who could hold it because he wasn't gonna jump." But I look at it like this: quite a few guys there. We're at 47 weeks. Very few have left. You know what I mean? You could have committed you could have committed to more. Quite a bit of guys are there, and they've been there for 47 weeks. It did not need to be the Jeff Jarrett show this long. So we could have taken a chance on more. I'm surprised they didn't, just given the climate. But that's it, man. We're wrapping that up. Number 48 will be next week, so we're coming up on the 1 year, wrapping up year 1 of doing this. But let's go and get our plugs in here, guys. Let's let people know where they can find us. J-Bone, you've been smashing a lot of podcasts lately. Where can they find you?
Oh, nonstop between this one and my own podcast. Smash This Podcast over on YouTube and the newly affiliated Twitch. Go on over there, give it some love. You can find Smash This Podcast also on the Facebook, the Instanet, and that Twitter box. So you can find me on the Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150.
My favorite is the Instaneck. I can't get over that one. Instaneck.
That is old school hip hop me when I was a little kid, and I get that from my cousin. And we'd listen to a lot of like really old rap and stuff, and he would throw these little weird terms like oh, I'm a hit him in his neck or something like that. He would just say weird things like that, and it stuck with me. And it all comes out at weird, really awkward times, and so that was one of them.
Instaneck, baby.
I call it a J-Boneism.
Yeah, I want to go with that. J-Boneism. Bill, where can they find you, man?
You can find me on Twitter and the Instaneck at my name, William M. Gardner, Gardner.
It sounds so weird coming from someone else.
Exactly. Now you know where we're coming from. Instaneck.
Exchangeogram.
You guys can get me over at Trent Zuberi over on Twitter, guys, and the show at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Look up Total Nonstop Impact. It comes up on all social medias. YouTube at Total Nonstop Impact. Twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact. Please subscribe, cheer bids, follow. Get connected with us, guys. Get all in there.
Tomorrow.
And remember, speaking of which, schedule. Yeah, remember our schedule, guys. Now, number 40. This is number 47. Is an episode. NWA-TNA number 48 will be next week. Sunday nights is the open forum show. We talk about Explosion. We go over a little Q&A, open forum. We'll open up the doors. Talk Explosion, talk around the ring, all that stuff. Tuesday night, guys, is the Impact on Access TV. We're going to figure out the watch along by then. Jay, I think Brian Skull is going to reach out to you with some stuff he's got. We'll hopefully get the watch along stuff figured out to have a fair, legal watch along done on Tuesday. We're not trying to risk anything there. We're trying to keep Impact happy with us. So do the right watch along. And then the flagship show of Total Nonstop Impact, Tuesday nights, right after following Impact Wrestling, following Aftershock, Impact's Aftershock. We go live with Total Nonstop Impact, full show review, news, breakdown, discussion, sometimes a guest. You don't know who's going to show up. John E. Bravo, before he died, showed up on the show and had a little run-in. So you never know who's going to be there, guys. ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. Get your T-shirts from us. I think I got all the plugs in. Bill, am I missing anything? I think that's everything.
I think you could obviously in the description, the Discord as well.
Discord
on there.
Get in the Discord. The link's in the description of these videos and audio, guys. Get the Discord.
Yeah, because
link.
speaking of the Discord, I know because of the hectic schedule the last couple of weeks, but I believe so. I don't think tomorrow there's one. At least I haven't heard of it. But the week before, I know Truck. A lot of times he will host a watch along of the upcoming Throwback show.
Nice.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, he's been doing that. At least
I know he hosted this one a week and a half ago before when we would have had the original show. So I don't know if there's one this weekend or not. I have to double check to see. But yeah, so definitely check that out too. But obviously, Impact Plus, $7.99 a month.
I got
33 days.
Yeah, I got to give it to Millard here. This is a motherfucker of a comment. Setting clocks back tonight will last longer than Trent's marriage.
That is good. That is good.
Wow. You guys, can somebody just compile all of them and then we'll find a way to send it to my ex-wife?
You guys.
That's a good one, though. And speaking of which, set your clocks back, guys. It is daylight savings time. But son of a bitch, Millard Harris, you fucking got me today, man. You burned me on Halloween, man. Shit, he got me good today. But all right, guys, I think that's gonna do it for us. That's it. Thanks for joining us on a very impromptu leave Trent alone. You know, Millard Harris,
that son of a bitch.
I'm gonna give you that one. But guys, thank you very much. Saturday Night Throwback. It was a last minute kind of add on to this because this is a hectic week. It's been pretty nuts. Bound for Glory week was nuts. So we're glad you guys stuck with us. Record numbers lately. So all the new subscribers, thank you very much. Record numbers coming in everywhere. So there's a lot of new fans of TNI. We want to welcome you guys here. Please join the live shows. Join this one live. Join the Tuesday night show live. We go live and we take comments. We display your comments. We want to hear from you. If you buy a T-shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees, you can join us on Sunday nights. Hang out with us. Hang out with us in the watch along even. We're going to get that all worked out. So watch along will be done on the up and up, on the right way, the way we have to do it through Twitch. Twitch is getting really, really stingent about how you do things. So want to make sure we're keeping it clean.
Yes, we know that's been in the news a lot lately for some other reasons.
Yes. So we want to make sure we do not get knocked with anything. We got to keep it clean on Twitch. So we'll be doing some tweaks, but we will be there, guys. We will be there. Brian J-Bone, Skull17 on Twitch. Go subscribe to him too. He told us that there are great ways to do it where we can incorporate all of our bells and whistles and still keep a proper watch along that Twitch will be happy with. So
yeah, he sent me a whole shebang of stuff, but we just got to set up a time together that we can like go through it and so I can learn it because it's a whole new process,
a whole new world.
To do it. Yeah.
I took a brief look at it, but I was going to spend some time tomorrow while watching maybe some football, testing some stuff out.
There we go. Let's do that.
There you go. Yeah, tomorrow sounds like a good day. We can hit him up, or we can go through the stuff that he sent us and see if we can figure it out.
Nice. So we'll let you guys know. But either way, worst case scenario, if we're not ready by this Tuesday, we'll still do a reaction hangout watch along too. So you guys can have it on.
Yeah. We'll still be live. One way or another. Yeah.
And then we'll be doing the post show anyway as we do it. So all right. And that'll do it for us, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great Sunday. Set your clocks back. We will see you tomorrow night. Explosion Talk and the Impact Plus Weekly and Q&A open forum discussions. Come at you tomorrow night. We will talk to you guys later. Have a great night, everybody.
Find me the name of this garbage show again that I'm on.
Total Nonstop Impact.
My name's John Capital letter E period Bravo, and you're listening to the Total Nonstop Impact Podcast.
This is the jaw-jacking Tuesday night impacting. His mother called him son because he shines like one. Mocha skin manimal, Rohit Raju, and you are watching Total Nonstop Impact.
This
is Taya La Güera Loca, and you are listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
The Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander, and you're listening to Total Nonstop Impact.
We are the Rascals. And you are listening to Total
Nonstop
Impact Podcast, baby.
Woo! And what you're really listening to is Total Nonstop Impact. Don't you dare miss a lesson. Oh, yeah.